Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Striking Ground. I'm your host, Steve G. I got a special guest with us today, none other than Kyle Clark, the Shark himself, who just recently made his successful LFA debut with the TKO victory. And I want to go ahead and let this gentleman introduce himself and say hello to everybody. Hey, Kyle, how you doing, man? Say hello to the viewers.
Hey man, how's it going? I'm Kyle the Shark Clark. You're right, I did put on a great performance in my last fight, LFA, flying knee knockout, ground and pound finish. That was a war. Fought this guy, Sam Fournier. He had a 12-inch reach advantage, training in Albuquerque, New Mexico with, some killers. So he was ready, and I had to take him out.
Yeah, he even had the likes of Greg Jackson in his corner that evening
Yeah,
during
yeah,
that
he
day.
was prepared. He was in shape. He came to win.
He did. I was there. And he came out very aggressively. Very tall kid, man. It looked like he came in there to win. And the fight was exciting. The fight was super exciting. You guys were going back and forth. And it wasn't an easy win, man. You took some punishment, but you was able to get him out of there in the first round. Can you give me a little bit about what you were thinking when he landed something good and kind of cut open your eye?
Yeah, yeah, man. Well, first and foremost, the guy is really good, so you got to give him all the credit. He came to win, and he had like 50 something kickboxing fights previously before he started MMA, and his striking was far more superior than mine in terms of experience. So when he came out, he started putting the pressure on, and I was feeling it. It was chaotic. There was a lot of stuff going on. He's throwing some big shots. I stayed calm. I remained composed, and when he did land a shot that rocked me, really like had my balance off. I just knew how to take him out. I couldn't stand at range with him no more because he was so lengthy. I got in
Yeah.
close and I just let some power, let my hands fly, made it chaotic, and just took him out.
Yeah, you had to make it a dogfight. I definitely love the adjustment that you made closing the distance. You don't want to fight a guy who's got so much reach than you like that on the outside. But even when you were on the outside, you stayed far on the outside where you're able to dip and avoid a lot of the shots as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. To your point, it looked like he hit me a lot more than he did because I was rolling away with a lot of his punches.
so they weren't getting the full impact. And for the viewers and different people, just in general, that don't know what he means about rolling with the punch, it's kind of like catching an egg. When you were young, you could throw it up in the air and you'd have to move your hand down as it approached so that you could lessen the impact of the fall. So in turn, as somebody's going to swing at him, he's rolling with the punch, moving in the same direction as the punch, so it's not having as much of an impact. Yeah, it was hard, it seemed like, to get away from that period. I don't see how many people, like for an example, there was just a boxing match that just happened between Sebastian Fendora versus Keith One Time Thurman. And he had about a 12-inch reach advantage over him. But this is in boxing, and this is the only time in the last so many years I've even recall a fight where somebody's had so much reach advantage over another opponent. And that gentleman just unfortunately wasn't able to come out on top as yourself. He fell short to the long reach of Sebastian Fendora. So,
Yep.
and being that, I also wanted to give you some credit that dude, this guy, Sam Fournier, he knew how to use his reach as well. He tried to keep you at the end of his punch, keep you at bay with teep kicks and low calf kicks and so forth. So that adjustment that you made just showed a lot of dog in you, man. And I wanted to get the viewers to know a little bit more about yourself, what you wanted to tell them as far as like what got you into MMA and made you fall in love with the sport, Kyle.
Okay, yeah. So I've always loved sports. I started off in football, track, wrestling. I excelled in wrestling in high school, placed in state, won. I was on varsity all 4 years. I did really good. I went to college. I wrestled in college, and then I just started working after that. I started working and making money. I'd rather make money and all that. I lived my life, right? I had kids. I failed at stuff, and then when COVID happened, everything got derailed. And somehow I ended up at the gym, El Nino Training Center, with the great Gilbert Melendez. And he took me in under his wing, and I haven't looked back since. That was in 2020, the end of 2020. So it's been a little over 5 years of just solid training at El Nino Training Center. And, I feel like faith just put me on this path. Like, I always wanted to fight, but it was never available, and
I see.
everything just laid out in front of me. And I said, let's go. Here I am today.
There you go. Yeah, so staying active and in the gym, well, a person like Gilbert Melendez, who has achieved so much in this sport, and in my opinion, is considered one of the greats at lightweight. I wanted to ask, how is it like knowing that you are in the same gym as certain gentlemen that have reached such high pinnacle in the sport? Does it motivate you?
Definitely, man. Gilbert Melendez is legendary. Um, he's a pioneer of the sport. He really led the way into the UFC. If like the casuals don't really know, but without Gilbert Melendez, a lot of stuff wouldn't have happened. So it's exciting to be in there, watching how he does everything, learning from him. He's an expert in life, and he's growing every day. And I love to be around the energy and it's not the how hard you work, but it's how hard you work with the people you surround yourself with. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, definitely. Iron sharpens iron. And if it was up to me, I would try to remain around as much positivity as I can. So that's very good to know that they have a positive atmosphere there at the El Nino Scrap Pack headquarters down in, that's in South San Francisco,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
Correct?
sir.
Yeah. So another thing, so when you first started doing wrestling, kind of rewind a little bit, that's a hard sport. So I feel that that's one of the main bases necessary to be successful in MMA as well. Are you happy that you started off first doing wrestling? And if you could,
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely. Wrestling, starting at a young age, it kind of makes everything in life a little bit easier because it's so tough, you know? It's so hard to get in there and train for something every day at such a young age, sacrificing all your free time, all like, because in wrestling, it's all season. Like, you get off season, but then there's freestyle, there's Greco, it's all summer long, it's all school year long. Like, if you're really committed to it, it's an all year long thing. So you're just dedicated and you're training and you're getting better. But it's two people, one person against the other, mano a mano. No like physical violence, but we're trying to see who's better. And for
real
that,
competition.
real competition. There's no team involved. I mean, you can win tournaments with team points, but realistically, it's one on one. Ain't no coach is gonna help you, and I feel like that teaches you valuable lessons that you can't get anywhere else from such a young age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when you said that the coaches can't help you when you're in there, they can only do so much, is what you mean, because they obviously they do teach you some stuff, but what you mean is when it comes to the grit and your desire, it's going to have to be there. They can't micromanage you. You got to want it more than them.
Right. They could give you advice. You could listen. You could hope they have you prepared. Right. They could help you in advance and prepare you. But when you're out there, you're on your own. You could listen and all, but you hope you absorb enough knowledge to come out on top.
Yeah, so that's very fortunate, in my opinion. When you start off with wrestling, it helps a lot with the cardio because the training is so grueling. You have to run. You got to run. You got to run the bleachers. You got to run. You run your first year and you're doing a lot of running. And it's just a great sport, man. So that's fortunate that you started off with that. And then to even be around people that have been in the game for so long and that are still in the game where it's still evolving. So, how did your amateur career play out? I wanted to get a little bit about that.
Yeah, my amateur it went pretty good. I was number one in the nation as heavyweight, number one in the nation as light heavyweight. I went 6-1. I was 4-0, and I fought this kid, Taylor Ladd. He was 10-0 at the time. He beat me in the decision, close fight. I gassed out. I wasn't as dedicated as I am now, But since that fight, I've learned a lot more. I've trained a lot harder. I evolved. I took that loss hard and I evolved. But the amateurs was great. Got a lot of experience, and I got what 6 titles. So I had 7 fights, got 6 belts. I think amateurs went really well.
Yeah, that sounded like it went very well for you. And then stepping it into your professional debut, how was that like? You want to give the viewers a little bit of your take on your analysis of that?
Yeah, so Fight Night San Jose 2, December 14th, 2025. I fought this kid, Blake Irish. It was his professional debut, it was my professional debut. Big stage, 4,000, 5,000 people viewing. Yeah, a lot of nerves in that fight. It was a big moment, but I took him out in 54 seconds via flying knee. Seems to be my trademark.
Yeah. Yeah, and that leads me. That was congratulations on your debut performance as well. I was very impressed by it, and I loved it. So this leads me. Is was it your second fight where you got matched up against Chuck Campbell?
Correct. Yeah, I got matched up against Chuck Campbell. It was my second fight. I believe he was at the time 9-4, so 9-4-1, so 14 fights ahead of me. He's ranked 28th in the nation. On paper, he was supposed to. This fight's not supposed to happen, right? He was supposed to just whoop me. Anyways, I fought him. It was a really close fight. I think if it wasn't a draw, I should have won it. But I lost split decision. One judge gave it to me. The whole stadium was booing, and it was his hometown. Everyone told me I won that fight. I'm not bitter about it. It was a good fight. I got a lot of experience. I was able to grow, and because of that fight, I was able to go in there and do what I did to Sam Fournier. So I want to run it back. I want to run it back. There's a new fight night, San Jose, coming up. Fight night, San Jose 5, and June 13th at the Tech CU Arena. I want to fight Chuck Campbell. I want to get that rematch, and I want to put him in the put him in the ground.
Okay, so you want to avenge that loss. I
Yes,
like
sir.
that about you because that was just your second professional fight, and here you are going up against a gentleman with 9 wins, only 4 losses, a draw, or what have you, or about 14 fights. And a lot of people wouldn't have taken that fight in your shoes. They would have waited to get more experience, but you're not here to cherry pick. And this is what makes the people's champion. This is what makes the fans draw to you is being out. Because if you plan on being the best, you're eventually going to have to see everybody. Why avoid people? And like you said, I wanted to rewind, Kyle. You made a very good point that starting off wrestling young, it's hard, right? So it makes you who you are now. And doing what's hard is what gets you sharper versus doing what's easier. It makes it harder later. And then you eventually get exposed, right? In
Right.
general, is what I'm thinking. So you want to avenge that loss, and I like that because you want to go ahead and show the fans, yourself, and everybody else where you stand at the moment.
Yes, I honestly believe I'm better than him. I believe he is a worthy adversary. Definitely a skilled opponent. It's been in the game a long time. But I'm not these guys he's been fighting. I went in there, my second fight, minimal damage, a little bit of blood. I believe I hurt him more. A lot of leg kicks, a lot of body kicks. I know the next day he was in a lot more pain than I was. I went home, I slept fine. I woke up the next day, my foot was hurting from kicking him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when I fought him the first time, I was nervous. It was a big fight. I didn't really know how it was gonna go, but now that I fought him, I see what he could do. He's at the end of his career. I mean, he can grow, but he can't grow as much as I'm growing. So
So you feel like you got that one in the bag considering he was at home, you had less experience than him, and hold on just a moment. You go ahead. Kyle,
bad. Huh?
there you go. There you go. No, we're good. So you were saying that you came home, your foot wasn't really hurt, blah blah blah. Oh, just your foot was hurt from kicking him and so forth for you to feel. So now we want to avenge that loss. And with a lot of go ahead.
No, go ahead.
A lot of fighters that I see that are the greats that have taken defeats earlier in their career with opponents that tend to climb the rankings with them, they like to try to get that rematch back. And this gentleman, Chuck Campbell, doesn't he train out of AKA?
Yes, he does train out, aka San Jose is his hometown, so I'm going into his home territory, and it's a big fight. I'm not overlooking him at all. I don't think I'm gonna walk out there. It's gonna be an easy fight. Like, he's a dangerous person, but I'm gonna be prepared, be well prepared.
So, wait a minute, Cal. So you saying this fight is already in negotiations, the rematch?
Yes, sir. It's in negotiations. He hit up the promotion looking for a fight. Does he know he's fighting me? No, but that's gonna be the option. So I'm trying to get it out there, make it happen. I think I'm better than him.
Yeah. So have you had any other fights offered to you as of late, perhaps in the last couple months or something? Because you just fought February 27th.
Right.
Right. TKO victory. After that, since then, have you received any offers?
Yeah. So right after my fight, at LFA in Ventura, they offered me another fight against Daniel Olejiga this weekend, April 3rd. So he didn't accept the fight. But I was preparing for that fight. He didn't accept it, so it's not happening. Then they got offered another fight, May 22nd, LFA in New York, I believe. But then this Chuck Campbell idea came across the board.
The table.
Yeah,
Okay. So if he doesn't accept, will we consider the New York a card?
definitely. Yep.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, do you know who that opponent is? If whether or not the Campbell doesn't fall through,
No, I don't know who that opponent is.
we don't
That's
know,
just an
and it
option.
doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter. There we go. See, I love that attitude of mind state, right? That's the mind state of a champion, is somebody that's not here to edge out split decision victories. You know, we're talking to a finisher here,
Yes,
man,
sir.
and you're fortunate you viewers get a chance to hear Kyle himself in the flesh, you know. So, you want to tell me some things about your coming up and how hard it is, and at times what's kept you motivated or disciplined to continue and stay focused?
Yeah, well, I love this. I love the growth. I love seeing the progress. I love the idea of the journey. I love the results at the end. And I want to prove, I wasted a lot of time in my life just messing around and stuff, knowing what I could do. I always know I could be great, but I just wasted time. So now I'm like, I'm 32 years old. My window's closing. I got to jump on it now. So I'm full forward. I sacrificed a lot of things. I'm sacrificing time away from my family. I moved to San Francisco and started working a job just so I could live out here and train. Like, I made it so my life would work around training, so I could see how far I could go. This sport is unforgiving, so there's no real certainty. But I know I'm better than a lot of people. I watch these guys fighting in the UFC, and I think they're crap at the 205 weight division. You know what I mean? I know I could get there. I just have to be dedicated, and it's difficult. There's a lot of injuries involved. There's a lot of emotions involved. There's a lot of traveling bills. Like, it's an expensive sport. You don't make a lot of money.
There's a lot of variables, definitely unfortunate injuries that force you to pull out. And then sometimes, after all the sacrifice, if the injury isn't as bad, they go in there and fight not 100%. Have you had to fight not 100%
I
before?
don't think anyone's 100% when they go into a fight. Whether you got a flu or you got your hips hurting or your shoulders hurting or something. You're never 100%. That's rare.
Very. But it's good that you're staying active. You know, you're at it. So I see great things for you in Horizon, and it's only so long until you're inducted into the UFC.
Yeah, and
So
there's other options in the UFC too. Like, they got this most valuable promotion that Jake Paul's doing. I heard from the woodworks they're paying a lot of money, and even on the undercard. I would like to make my way to that. They got this karate combat. They're paying some good money. They got bare knuckle boxing. There's all kinds of options. The sport's growing. UFC isn't the only goal.
yeah, absolutely. And there's definitely a bunch of different promotions that that are all growing. Being that MMA is still the largest growing sport. So combat and period, there's a lot of fans and hardcores out there that appreciate it and just the love of it. So it's going to continue to grow. How do you feel about that bare knuckle? Because I understand that you are a complete MMA fighter. You are not just a one trick pony. So you could take it to the ground and you could stand up. How would you like to see yourself limited like that to just boxing? Well, even though there's clinch work and so forth, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, still work in progress in my hands. I'm getting more confident each and every fight. Guess, like you said, I didn't start out a striker. But strong suit is on the ground, but I have yet to have to use my ground game. So I got confidence in my striking. In terms of bare knuckle, man, those guys' faces get messed up. I'm talking about broken orbitals, broken noses, broken cheekbones. I mean, that could happen in a cage fight as well. But, like, those guys are tough. They're brutal. And if the money's right, I'll fight bare knuckle. But the money's got to be right. That's a lot of damage. Might be shortening some years off your life. I don't know.
I hear you, man. So it's definitely got to be a calculated approach, considering, like you said, the window is closing. We can't rewind. And it's a very dangerous sport as well. There's long-term effects that could come with this if you're not defensively sound or if you just get hit with the right shot and so forth. So just for the viewers know, this isn't just for shits and giggles. This is a serious thing. And it's sad that some of these fans, they just want to see somebody get brutally beat out there. And hey, I understand. They just want to see something that's entertaining or whatever. But there's a lot of skill involved behind it as well. And these people are real. You know what I mean? So I'm praying for you, man. That you continue on your trajectory that has been spectacular in my opinion. I see nothing but good things for you, Kyle. And I want to ask if you can go ahead and let the viewers know how we could reach you. Do you have Instagram, all of your platforms that you would like to share?
Yes, I do have an Instagram. You can find me at _Clark_the_shark. I got these shirts for sale right now. Got my Instagram handle on them. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
oh yeah, I'm gonna need one. I need one of those for sure. I can put me down for an XL. I got
Got
you.
you. You know what I mean? And then for the kids, a little more casuals, got the
Uh-huh.
regular Clark the Shark originals. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need one of those too. I'm gonna need one of those in a
But
small.
yeah, I'm on Instagram, Clark the Shark. I'm on Facebook, Kyle Clark. YouTube, Clark the Shark. You can find me. Talk to me. I'll talk to you back.
I wanted to input. You also offer personal training on your time off once in a while when the slots are available.
Yes, sir. That is something I'm doing, something I'm working on. Outside of fighting, I do want to, give back to the sport, teach the young, the old, people who are just want to learn a new martial arts. And definitely gonna take on some new clients.
Absolutely. Go. Well, there you go, folks. You know how to go ahead and reach him. If you guys want to go ahead and comment, please subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button and go ahead and ask any questions that you want to Kyle Clark. He's a very good guy. I've got a chance to spend some time with him personally. I've seen him live in action, and he's as good outside of the ring as he is in the octagon. So thank you, folks, for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you, folks.